Kellyanne Conway, in her book, apparently said that Trump toyed with quitting after the Access Hollywood pussy tape. I was floor director for a TV station. That night I was floor directing. I remember exactly where I was. Me, the dude that has no fucking idea what he did yesterday, remembers exactly where he was in the TV studio when I heard the grab her by the pussy. Oh my God. I was like, well, that's it. He's lost, surely. Surely. Donald Trump considered dropping out of the 2016 presidential race after the leak of the now infamous Access Hollywood tape showed him boasting that women let him grab them by the pussy, according to Kellyanne Conway. Now, I do not believe her. I do not believe her. I do not believe her. Were there people around Trump telling him that perhaps he should drop out? Were there Republican operatives trying to pressure him to drop out? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that happened. Kellyanne Conway is lying just to sell books, I'm sure. I am sure. This was just to make news. This was to get stations talking about her book. Well, Kelly, it worked. Conway, a former Trump campaign manager and senior advisor, made the surprising claim in her new memoir. Here's the Deal, a copy of which the Daily Beast obtained ahead of its release tomorrow. Writes that on the night of October 8th, 2016, in the secrecy of Trump Tower, she and Trump huddled around the corner from the elevator landing on the 24th floor to mull the future of his candidacy. Trump had seen reports that the GOP could force him off the ticket or hold a vote to expel him amid the fury over his disgusting comments captured on video a decade earlier. Should I get out of the race? Trump asked Conway, according to the book. Conway's description of what was happening in private stands in stark contrast to Trump's public comments. The then candidate told the Wall Street Journal late on October 8th that there is zero chance I'll quit. I never ever give up. No, there's no way his ego would have let him quit. Absolutely not. You actually can't, Kellyanne Conway quotes herself as saying, unless you want to forfeit and throw the whole damn thing to Hillary. I'm assuming Kellyanne Conway just has a hatred of Hillary Clinton. So let's hear her talk about Hillary for like 10 minutes.
And it looks
it's like 15 minutes. God damn, I'm sorry.
He's with a very jury that seems very compromised and a judge that seems to have a horse in this race. For some reason, John Durham said, I'm going to...
A jury, notice they're already setting up, because they have made such a big deal about this is the Sussman trial. This is the result of the Durham investigation. If you spend any time in right-wing circles, that's all they're talking about right now is the Sussman trial. Now it proves Hillary made up the whole Russia collusion thing. Yeah. That trial is currently ongoing. Kilmeade already setting the stage for the fact that nothing's going to happen to Sussman. The judge is biased. The jury is biased. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off.
Going to go ahead with this, and we're going to have this trial with Michael Sussman, who seems as guilty as the day is long. That is just part of what Kellyanne Conway has experienced when she had her 4 years, and of course the years leading the Trump.
He seems guilty. Why? Because he worked for Hillary Clinton
as an advisor. Her book is now out. It's called Here's the Deal. The special was last night. Out tomorrow, right?
It's out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You can order it today.
Yes.
Please do. Kill me, listeners.
And we have a lot. Kellyanne, great special last night. Our special was fantastic.
It's amazing. Very special,
which is
weird.
That's never been done before, I don't think, in the history. But you always do things that make history. Here's the Deal is the name. First off, on what Kash Patel said.
Yes.
When you were, I asked a lot of people who were in and out, we're part of the campaign and we're on the outside and then inside. So I'd watch these revelations come in. It's like, Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that.
Yes.
And I go, what's going on here? Did you notice, were there calls going in? Were there some, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody was saying that's absolutely not true, but they'd say, I never saw any of this. When some of this stuff was coming in, starting really, October, September?
I have no clue what he has just said for the last minute. What in the fuck? What in the fuck is he talking about? And I'm going to assume it's one of those things where if you live in the right-wing echo chamber, like, fucking, it's just the conversation that's going on. But, like, he sounds nuts to me. What that didn't make any sense.
October?
Right.
Did you ever say to yourself, guys, who is this?
Nope. I'll tell you why. We were so busy. We were understaffed, under-resourced, underestimated, underdog campaign. And the strategy was very clear. I was transparent about it every day. There's Donald Trump going to 7 or 8 states, Governor Pence doing the same, speaking in front of the cameras directly to the people. And then I was on 7 or 8 TV shows a day on average, Brian, going through the strategy. We're going to go to Michigan, Wisconsin. We think our message will play in Pennsylvania. We're going to be a little bit less in New Mexico and Nevada. Here's why. And if I were talking to Moscow, you wouldn't have seen me. I was talking to people in Macomb County, Michigan, and Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, not a bunch of Russians. The reason that this took hold...
You weren't the one of being accused of talking to Russia.
They did have all the king's horses.
Yes, right-wingers are indeed fucking
and
morons.
momentum and all the media behind them. They didn't have a good candidate. They had a flawed candidate, and they, in case of emergency...
Yeah, that is true. Hillary Clinton was indeed a flawed candidate, and that's the problem of not having competitive primaries. And goddamn, if Joe Biden was going to be our president, why the fuck didn't he run in 2016? Why the fuck? Why? I would much rather have had that Joe Biden.
You break the glass, you pull the ripcord, and you come up with another strategy. Their strategy was to pretend that we were being aided and abetted by Russia to win the election. And they didn't leave it on election night. They actually accelerated these rumors and these claims and pretending there was evidence after.
Even her husband thinks that, Sassy, and not in a good way.
Was being discussed in the Oval Office on January 5th, 2016.
I know that's the reason why he didn't run.
Trump is going to be sworn in. We're being told, like, Jared downstairs in the Navy mess, we're being told we want a smooth transition, democracy.
Krell of Xanth? I fucked your name up. I'm so sorry. I wanted to call you Kralio there. Kralio. Oh, you're Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles. What is up? Well, thank you for being a freaking follower again. I love the emote bomb. I could make it to where it like pops up. It's like now the blah 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 is now a follower, but like I really like the emote bomb. I think that's fun.
Needs it. We're a sturdy country, et cetera. And the fix was in. They came to Trump Tower the very next day. Clapper, Comey, Brennan, the national security team, to brief the president on very scary situations around the world.
I don't understand what's so controversial about that statement. That's literally the Republican fucking policy towards Israel. Make Jeebus come back. Literally. Oh God, I even had somebody, point out Trump, moving the embassy and shit, like, we're a friend of Israel, blah blah, conservatives love Israel. I'm like, no, it is just so you can make Jeebus come back in your warped fucking worldview. Sorry, got off topic there. Back to Kellyanne Conway and her bullshit.
And as they were leaving, I write in my book, Here's the Deal, on sale today, Brian, that Comey takes Trump aside, basically just standing up. And it was as an aside and says, well, we're looking into this. We don't know too much. Seth Meyers asks me about it on TV a couple days later. And then Donald Trump has that press conference
on that
in the
comedy
atrium,
show.
On that, right. Where people used to be funny. I like comedians who are funny. But anyway, Donald Trump, the day after that, he has a big press conference in the atrium of Trump Tower. You'll remember this.
Seth Meyers is still funny.
He's being asked questions about this, and he's curiously looking around. The Hunter Biden laptop contents are more verifiable than the Steele dossier. And which one was pushed and pushed and pushed for years with no verification and no veracity. You see that now because people are in courtrooms under oath on the record. So they're being honest now. As opposed to the Steele.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that here in a second. Don't think for a moment I'm not gonna let you get out of here without the deets on the Sussman trial.
Collusion with any kind of authority they wouldn't have. They wanted to stop Donald Trump, but they couldn't do it. So BuzzFeed did it after Trump was elected. Then CNN went ahead and ran a story referring to the BuzzFeed piece, and they won awards over this. And the New York Times people won Pulitzers over this. Give them back, and let's pay attention to the Sussman trial, because now actual heads are going to roll, I believe.
Okay. I watched it on other channels too, because I was astounded, because, I've been here a while and you've been on their channel a while. I've never seen such a division between two worlds where there'd be real issues going on, the economy growing, the deficit growing, whatever it was, good or bad. Go to bed. What the president's policy was with NATO. There's stuff to talk about. So I'd be preparing for a show, and we'd be talking about, okay, the president wants to pull out of NATO. Maybe his chief of staff disagrees with that. That's kind of interesting, right?
Yes, of course.
But you turn on the other channel, you come on, we talk about that.
Russia.
It was nonstop. And about this, and so you'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And after a while...
Honey, you turn on Fox News right now, and all you guys are talking about is CRT and woke culture and all this fucking bullshit. The Sussman trial is the first thing that you can even, call newsworthy that Fox News has covered probably this entire fucking year. Some of the things on the laptop have been verified as real. The Department of Justice have said some of the contents are real. Now, if you were trying to plant evidence, and wouldn't you put some real things in here on a fake laptop? But once again, what does fucking Hunter Biden... What do these fucks think the Hunter Biden laptop proves? What's on the laptop that I should care about? And why do you feel that Trump's connections to Russia, which are well established, which the Mueller report goes into, which the Senate Intelligence Committee report goes into, why are you trying to downplay that?
I almost understand why some of the guys and some of the women were like, why do I want to do this interview? They're just going to keep bringing everything about Russia, and behind the scenes, you're getting things going.
They would also do it in the Oval Office.
And the press room was a joke.
The president would, that's right, the president would invite the press into the Oval Office, something Joe Biden does not do. They now have said, because he needs a teleprompter, Brian, they have to recreate a phony Oval Office.
Is it unbelievable, isn't it?
It's, I just hope people know that these are the facts.
What?
And President Trump would spontaneously invite the press into the Oval Office.
I would assume that the reason why the press isn't going into the Oval Office the way they used to has more to do with COVID concerns and shit and getting close to them, as opposed to the press room, which they probably have ventilation set up and is much bigger. Teleprompter. As I pointed out many times, Joe Biden is at his fucking best when he's just speaking from the heart, talking to somebody. He's horrible on a teleprompter. Oh, but he needs a teleprompter to speak. Idiots.
To talk about whatever guest was there, whatever policy prescription was going to go for, whatever was happening legislatively on Capitol Hill. And they would ask him, every question would be about Russia. And you know what? We should have known then what's happening now, which is this, Brian, that this White House wants you to believe what they say, not what you see. And the same thing was happening with Russia collusion. Instead of focusing on what you see and what you want to be true of this policy or that, they're telling you, believe what we say. And I think it's all coming back to hurt them. Hillary Clinton is damaged goods, this ridiculous notion she could ever run for president again, be a 3-time loser. Right. Have at it, lady.
Who the fuck said she was going to run for president? Hopefully even she knows not to do that.
How weak their bench is. But don't forget that the media didn't just want Donald Trump to win in 2016. They were shocked that he did. And I think the shock and embarrassment of Donald Trump winning in 2016, which is talked an awful lot about in new ways, never before told stories in my book, Here's the Deal, Brian, that bothered them more to be embarrassed and shocked by Donald Trump's election than even him being president.
Go down further. Silicon Valley. Because you use Facebook and use Twitter in order to win and get your message out
Google
and circumvent. And they were determined. You know who told me that? Neil Ferguson in 2017. I can't remember if it was on camera or we're waiting in the break, and he said, you cannot overstate how embarrassed and angry Silicon Valley is that they ignored Facebook and Twitter. You guys didn't. You used it, circumvented, and used social media, and they feel responsible for Trump winning, and they're going to get back at him, and they did.
So two people to know there, Jeff Zucker at CNN, Jeff Zuckerberg at Facebook. Let me focus on both of them. They were both.
Peter Thiel Peter Thiel, hardcore Trump supporter. Sat on the board of Facebook till just like last year. Might still be on the board of Facebook, but I think he left. Fucking dude at Twitter, I forget his name. He was the CEO at the time. Like, they weren't against Trump, motherfucker. Didn't Zuckerberg go to the White House multiple times with Trump? What the fuck?
Both, as you correctly point out, reviled and insulted and just put upon by their colleagues.
Jack Dorsey, thank you.
I went up to Harvard Institute of Politics on December 1st. They have this tradition of inviting both campaigns as senior people, and devolved into Jennifer Palmieri, who apparently also knew about this Sussman stuff, according to Robbie Mook and others. But anyway,
notice how you never get an actual detail of what Sussman did, what Mook did, what they are accusing them of. They just allude to them doing bad things. Just some nebulous thing that happened. But they're not informing you of exactly what's going on in the trial.
Was being
President of
excoriated by his colleagues, saying that Trump is your fault. You kept the empty podium waiting for Donald Trump in the right-hand corner. You covered every single word he said.
Then we caught him on audio giving him coaching.
Correct.
Before debates.
And so people were mad at him, and what did he do? All of a sudden, CNN had to become the anti-Trump network. Not even their job is to get this story, but their mission was to get the president.
Absolutely.
And it's all evidence.
Yeah,
In the 2016 campaign, Brian, people say, what did Zuckerberg do? The answer is nothing, meaning he let us run ads on Facebook. We paid our money. We ran our ads. Same thing on Google, YouTube. We used Twitter. Mr. Trump used Twitter well. And so the net effect of that is we were under-resourced. So we could not do all TV ads. Hillary had unlimited resources. But we knew this is where people were getting information now. It's very natural for you to receive your information digitally. So we invested in that 50% digital ads.
Great. Thank you for being a freaking follower.
Paid off for us. But Zuckerberg came under fire. How dare you? Why didn't you just not take their money? Why did you help elect Donald Trump? So what happened in 2020? Dave Bossie's new movie, Rigged, is brilliant because it goes through all of the states and the precincts where Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, through two nonprofits, CLTC is the acronym for one, called...
This is just the 2,000 Mules shit all over. It's probably the same accusations, just done by somebody that's got a better reputation.
That sounds like a nice goal, but riddle me this. Why did 92% of the money that was spent go to Joe Biden won precincts? You don't want the rest of us to be safe? So I think that's President Trump and I were discussing that book and the documentary, and he said, what do you think? And I said, I read that and I'm surprised you won Mississippi. In other words, the fix was in so many places ahead of time. It's fine to spend money to help people vote, but why are you picking and choosing the states, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, these places that ended up being razor thin margins? And we know with COVID was a reason for us to vote differently. But now it's become an excuse for us to continue to vote that way, and that has to stop.
A couple of things. The NRA got attacked and destroyed, and they were a big help.
First of all, COVID's not over.
Well, yes, they were. They were a big help. Only because they're reaching out to their members and saying one person, Hillary Clinton, has an F on the Second Amendment, and Donald Trump has an A.
And then to motivate, the NRA was motivated to help you guys.
Same thing with the pro-life groups.
Same with the pro-life groups.
Fuck the NRA. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about how we don't have ties to Russia and then bring up the NRA support. Jesus.
Absolute meltdown. He was clearly the wrong person to lead that organization. And he had an absolute meltdown. He ended up shirtless, being arrested after allegedly striking his wife. And that is the representation of the guy in the...
She literally made that claim earlier that, like, oh, we weren't working for Russia. Oh, fuck. Oh. I was going to leave it running there. Oh, well, I cut her off. We've had enough about it. Senate report reveals NRA was foreign asset to Russia ahead of 2016. This is the Republican Senate, by the way. Oh, shit. National Rifle Association helped 2 Russian nationals ahead of the 2016 election to a far greater extent than was previously known. And the gun... Oh, no, this would have been Democrats. I'm sorry. And the gun rights group may have acted in ways that could cost the organization its tax-exempt status. Those are 2 findings of a new Senate committee report that is out this morning. It says the NRA operated as a, quote, foreign asset for Russia during the 2016 campaign. No. It was Republicans. It was Republicans. The Democrats retook the Senate in 2020. Yes, it's one of my wallpaper on my computer, on all my different monitors, is just different musical acts I really enjoy, and that is a beautiful picture of Lady Gaga. What else do you expect? So, Kellyanne Conway pointed out, hey, we had help from the NRA. The NRA gave us an A. Ha ha. The NRA was a Russian asset, and you just denied that you were being backed by Russia. Ma'am, I got a question to ask you.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?